Hey there. This will be a quick live today because we're actually on deadline for a few magazines and it'll be a burning the midnight oil tonight. But I really did want to quickly chat to you about content curation. Not a lot of people have heard about content curation, but it's a really powerful tool that you can use as part of your content marketing strategy so that you're not feeling like you're having to create brand new content every single day. So what is content curation? So basically, the word curation comes from really the art world where, curators of art would bring together great pieces of work into a gallery and then obviously have showings in that gallery. So they're curating, some of the best of artwork, either from various artists or from one particular artist where they're bringing together some of their best pieces. So the term curation means just that, gathering of the best works. So in content world, basically content curation is where you're actually going out and looking for the best articles that are written or the most popular trending topics, or within your topic, the top trending articles and top trending contributors and authorities, and bringing them together and making commentary on them. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's say, for example, you jump on something like BuzzSumo, where you can go and find top trending topics, articles, etc. And you might type in the word, we've got one of our magazines we've just done this recently for called thyroid health. So we type in the word thyroid and then it tells us all the top trending articles in that particular category. Then what we do is we then make commentary on those particular articles and then push them out to our audience. So we might do that on Facebook. So we might say, great article here from XYZ about the top 5 things that you really need to consider if you're struggling with your thyroid, whether you're hypothyroid or hyper, they share some really great tips, etc. And then you share the original source of the post. The other way you can use content curation, which is what we do across all our magazine authority sites, is we actually use a technology that is extremely powerful, and we're able to put in all the keywords and all of the contributors and influencers in our space. Our software then goes out and scrolls and churns the internet and tells us everything that they're talking about in that particular space. And then our teams of journalists go in and curate the articles. So, for example, if Oprah's done a really great post in Believe magazine is someone who likes to follow Oprah, then if Oprah's posted a really good article, we then go in and our journalists go in and say, you must read this really great article from Oprah. It shares, and like I just mentioned before, shares XYZ, give a little bit of a summary. Usually about 150 words, a little bit of a summary, summarising the points that are made, the points that you found really valid, and why you think that the reader should read it. And then you can share it, and our software automatically does this for us, and then it actually gives a link to the original source. And that's one really important thing, always link to the original source of the article. Now, why would you content curate? Why would you bother to spend your time curating? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One, I'm sure you're like me, sometimes it's coming up with a new idea or a new topic can be overwhelming, and if you're having a busy week, you just don't get time to. So content curation allows you to leverage off other people's content, but still allows you to post some really interesting and engaging thoughts with your audience. It also helps to position you as an authority. So if you're making a comment on something that Oprah's written about, then you're sort of almost positioning yourself with Oprah. Not quite, but not as well as a magazine will, but it does actually give you a little bit of, look at this person, they're following all the trendsetters. We have an authority website where we push all our curated content to help. We've got lots of ways that we're working with our clients to build their authority, but curation is one of those, and it's a really powerful tool. It allows some engagement with the contributor as well, because we do shares and we tag them in whenever we're curating their content, and we've had a lot of people say, come back to us saying, thanks for sharing, really appreciate you sharing the article. So it really does allow you to elevate yourself and position yourself as an authority. So jump on to BuzzSumo or some other software out there, have a look and find them that telling you the top trending articles. Huffington Post is a classic example. They started out pretty much as content curators, where they were sharing content written across the whole of the web and online and in the media, bringing it all together into a hub site, and then linking people out to the original source of the article. Some of you may not like the idea. Some of you may go, well, I don't want people leaving my site. One tip there is to open, when someone clicks on the original source of the article, have it open up in another window if you're on a website. So make it pop up into a new window so that your site's still hanging out here. It's also, people say, what about duplicate content for Google? Curation is not duplicating content. You're putting a link to the original source of the article, and your curation is original. So you don't need to worry about. There are some tricks and tips, and you can Google those to make sure that you're absolutely not doing duplicate content, but it's not something you need to be concerned about. And we follow a lot of rules to make sure that that's not happening. So there you go. There's a little tip. I've got to get back to bringing some magazines out to the world. We're on a few deadlines, some big ones, some beautiful magazines. Bloom's magazine is almost launching. We're really excited about that beautiful magazine featuring fantastic contributors like Matt Moran, who we're privileged to have him in our magazine. And our editor, Sharon, is extremely excited to bring the magazine to the world. So we look forward to sharing that one with you when it's live. But consider content curation in your marketing mix and in your content schedule as a way that you can, really create some content without having to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Thanks for listening.